more time for Dr. Pete, everybody. Thank you, sir.
Good to see you.
Great job. Great job. You were hilarious. Absolutely funny. So I got to ask you, which came first, the comedian or the engineer?
The engineer came first.
Okay.
There's no doubt about that because
You weren't funny before this.
No, I wasn't. Suddenly I got out of graduate school and boom, it happened.
You were just funny. You were good.
Yeah, that's it. But Georgia Tech students, very different than you guys. I mean, you're
Why do you
walking
say
around
that?
in suits.
Yeah.
We don't wear suits. I'm waiting for Pete to give me a subpoena or
So
something.
what's the real difference between SCAD and Georgia Tech? Because I'll tell you, I dated a girl from Georgia Tech, and it was one of the most interesting experiences I've ever had. I learned the most I've ever learned in my whole life.
Wait, there are girls at Georgia Tech?
I learned how to count. I learned how to do math.
Okay.
Science became a little easier. My taxes.
So actually,
that already.
what a lot of people don't realize is in biomedical engineering, biology, and almost in math, and also in chemistry, we're more than 50% women.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's cool. Well, shout out to all those degrees. That's the future. That's the future.
And
We're realizing, right, that guys are a lot dumber than girls. I think we need to learn that pretty quick, right? She agrees.
What's scary is the women can do the engineering just as well as the guys, but they can also walk, talk, and exercise hygiene habits.
Judgment
as well.
and hygiene.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. We'll be replaced in about 20 years.
Of course.
That's
So
my theory.
when you're at Georgia Tech, and where do you get your material from? Do you get it from your students? Do you sit in class and see something funny that your students do and say, hey? That was hilarious.
So actually I do. I take it from my students, I take it from my kids, I take it from my family, and then they all rule the day they ever took a class.
Do you ever have to go to them and say, hey, remember that stupid thing you did 2 weeks ago? I'm going to say that in front of 20,000 people.
No, I just do it in front of people anyway.
You just do it?
You know, and
What's the favorite venue? What's one of your favorite venues you've ever performed at?
well, so most of the venues I actually do are in front of nerd conventions, right? So I'm doing the American Chemical Society in August. I'm doing a professional society for chemical and pharmaceutical industry up in Princeton, New Jersey next week. So, you know, if I get to do that,
That's
and
an interesting audience.
you
What
know,
are you supposed to
put
tell jokes
formulas
about?
on the so we do chemistry jokes, things like that.
So give me an example. Can you tell me a chemistry joke?
I so want to hear this.
Well, so oftentimes I come out and I'll do sort of the flight attendant announcement of, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're overwhelmed by the number of nerds in your vicinity, there are exits in both the front and the back of the auditorium. Go through some safety procedures and point out that if we follow these safety procedures, we'll all get out of here without anyone writing down the structure for a number 5 phosphodiesterase inhibitor. And point out that for those of you that didn't get that joke, we like to call you normal.
Thank you.
And
You
for
made me feel a
those,
lot better.
right, for those of you that did, you realize that was the first Viagra joke of the evening.
Oh, that's
So-
brilliant. That's hilarious.
And some guys actually get it and start,
Because you have like the 10 in the group that laugh at it. They're like, oh,
there
ha,
is.
ha, ha.
Physicists
I'm
are the best,
smart.
actually. You do periodic table of the element jokes, and they're always like, they correct you. That's what they like to do.
That's kind of heckling you deal with, isn't it?
Yeah,
people that
it's
correct
always,
I'm pretty sure it's
integrals
actually,
and things like that.
yeah.
Yeah, I do a joke about Americium, which is in the periodic table. It's a Rita Rudner from West Side Story.
Yeah.
And there's always some guy from a physics lab who stands up at the end and goes, "It's americium, dude." So,
You're just like,
yeah.
you stupid son.
there you go. Technical heckling. That's what it is.
So, Pete, Dr. Pete, rather.
Okay, Pete works though.
Pete, okay, so
Yeah.
did you get your doctorate from Georgia Tech? Is that what you said?
No, I actually did my doctorate degree at MIT,
Okay, MIT, rather.
which is a lot of people here know stands for Mutant in Training. It's
That's where the X-Men people went, right?
yeah, not a lot of
I
funny
thought so.
people.
Yeah,
It's-
Of the whole Charles Xavier wing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was MIT.
Yeah.
we weren't nearly that cool. That's that much.
You don't have
Shoot
superpowers.
lasers out of your eyes?
That's this.
No, none of that. They shot a lot of lasers, but
What,
none of this.
how did you get your start in comedy then? I mean, I know you said that you came out of graduate school and you were funny, but
Well, so I got my start probably the way Dawn got her start, the way we all got our start. We were stupid enough to go to an open mic. And
is that what
mine-
it was, Dawn? Did you go to an open
I
mic?
did go to an open
Yeah,
mic,
yeah, and mine was at the Funny Farm Comedy Club, which is now defunct, probably because I used to work there. And we all go in there, we're like, oh, I can always duck out when nobody's looking, and then you pick the #1 spot, so you're stuck. You've got to do it.
Yeah.
And then once you do that once, you realize, well, it's not as bad as a prostate exam, so you go for it.